Hey guys, it's Danny. I have some horrible news yet again for you today. Do you guys remember my wonderful Phalaenopsis Pink Flamingo? That's a commercial name, but it was a flower shop Phalaenopsis with the most beautiful magenta coloration, most lovely tiny little flowers. Needless to say, I loved that orchid because that particular color, that sweet magenta color, it's not something you easily find even with other orchids, let alone Phalaenopsis. I really liked that orchid. Well, I lost it. I lost it to thrips, and how I lost it was that it got crown rot, let's call it like that. Typically, thrips like to munch on the newer growth, such as new leaves from the crown, and depending how much they damage the crown and the pathogen environment at that particular moment, you can actually go into crown rot without actually having pools of water in the crown to accumulate bacteria. It's enough to have some pathogens in the air for those grazing wounds to be infected. That's what happened. It was too late when I saw it. And I really was sad because even if it was a flower shop Phalaenopsis, I did not find it ever since. I didn't even find anything that came close to it. Until yesterday. Ta-da! I found it again! Yay! Now, this one does not have a tag. Maybe it had at some point, I don't really know. Again, that name, I'm not sure if each company can give the same orchid different names. It's definitely not a registered name, but being that my original one had that tag, I'm just gonna call it Pink Flamingo. Although, to be fully honest, flamingos don't really have this magenta anyway, it doesn't matter. There she is, and she has been sitting probably for quite a long time in the flower shop. She was the only one of its kind, and I do see that some of the flowers at the tip of the flower spike are tinier, which means she arrived at the flower shop with these flowers and then she opened these buds. So it's been a while. I also see remnants of another flower spike here, which is dried up. I don't know when this happened, but sometimes this can happen during transport. What's funny though is that on this side we have two flower spikes and they look like they're coming from the very same point. What's happening actually is that one of the flower spikes sprouted from below this node, but kinda made its way out of in between the foliage in the same spot. It looks like it produced two flower spikes from the same spot, but if I look at it, I know there are two different growth nodes there. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about this orchid because I think she is very special. First of all, no fragrance, sadly, but it's okay. The color is the most wonderful thing about this orchid. I guarantee you will not easily find, or maybe you won't find at all, but you will not easily find any other orchid with the exact same color. It is a sweet magenta, but at the same time, it's a bluish magenta. It's very weird. I'm personally not a big fan of cool toned colors, but this one is somehow warm at the same time as it is bluish, even though blue is a cold color. I really don't know how to explain it. I'm a bit at a loss of words because it's just a super unique color. So if you're a beginner and you want to have something unique without having to spend money at nurseries, on transport and things of the sorts, put this one on your wish list and just keep an eye out, because if I found it at my flower shop, maybe you will find it at a flower shop near you as well. It takes the exact same care as any other flower shop Phalaenopsis, and you always have some tutorials linked below in the description. So if you do good with other Phalaenopsis, you should do absolutely fine with this one as well. It's that type that likes a cool down in the winter, and the good thing about it is that it is very floriferous. It produces a lot of tiny little flowers, and the flower spikes are quite branchy. At some point, mine rebloomed with a lot more flowers than initially, so it has the potential. And if you find it, just know that you just stumbled upon something that I consider to be very special. It's not a very common orchid at the flower shop. You will not find it as often as the white and pink Phalaenopsis. The size of it though is not tiny. It is not a miniature Phalaenopsis, even though it has tiny little flowers. I couldn't even tell you the parentage of this orchid because I don't really know its registered name. I don't know if it's even registered. I don't know how they obtained it to have this color. I don't know if the equestrius is even involved, but It's not a tiny orchid, it's more of a medium type of orchid. It's not gonna grow into a monster, I believe, but definitely it will need some space. However, because the flowers are tiny and they're generally not top heavy, you don't need to stake them up. So if you prefer the more flowy, let's say, display for the flowers, you can definitely do that with this orchid. You don't need to stake the flowers, and they should be just fine. The flower spike should be able to handle the weight of the flowers. And in the end, yeah, if you think you would enjoy to have this orchid, go for it. I think in person, you will just love this color, and I guarantee you will not easily find another orchid with this color. So you'll know you have something special, and maybe that sometimes makes you feel good. I mean, I feel good knowing I have this orchid, and spoiled the moment, my guy. Hiya. They all lavish in my misery. I was saying I felt special because I have this orchid. And I hope it will make you feel special too. Price-wise, should be just the same as any other Phalaenopsis. That's the great part of it. You don't have to pay a luxury price to feel like you have maybe a luxury orchid or plant. Alrighty, so with that said, enough blabbing because I think I'm sidetracking too much. Anyway, that was the short little video for today. Keep an eye on this orchid. I definitely recommend it if you didn't know it existed. Now you do. With that said, subscribe for more orchid videos, and I hope you'll have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye!